I'm here today to discuss the most common postnatal injuries and how you can understand them as you chart your recovery. To begin, no matter what birth experience you had, pregnancy and childbirth leave you injured and moving in compensation to these injuries instead of from optimal functionality. Conditions like diastasis recti, pelvic organ prolapse, incontinence, pubic and tailbone pain, pelvic floor dysfunction, umbilical hernias, hip pain, neck and wrist injuries, even scar tissue and backache are all common and normal results of childbirth. They're also mostly very treatable with the right combination of physical therapy and targeted exercise. The thing to know about all of these injuries is that they are interrelated. They do not operate in isolation from the rest of your body. So understanding how your core, your breath, and your body operate will help you understand how these injuries are working together so that you can heal them. Some do require medical intervention like surgery. Others may be less severe and can be treated with a combination of physical therapy and exercise. So if you're unsure of what injuries you've sustained from pregnancy and childbirth, then you can begin by scheduling an appointment with a pelvic specialized physical therapist who can perform a full assessment of your pelvic and abdominal health. Revolution Motherhood On Demand is designed specifically to address all of the non-surgical conditions and is highly effective when used in conjunction with physical therapy. Once you know what you have, like diastasis recti or pelvic organ prolapse, then you will know which modifications to choose while exercising. You will also be able to move yourself through to more challenging exercises as you feel yourself getting stronger and healing. I'm going to start by discussing diastasis recti because there is a lot of misinformation about it floating around out there. Your abdominal wall is constructed of multiple layers of muscles, all connected through fascial tissue. Your deepest layer, your transverse abdominals, forms your corset, wrapping you from spine to belly button. This is your stabilizing layer and is the first place of compromise when you become pregnant and the first place we go to rehabilitate your core. So sitting on top of your transverse abdominals is your six-pack or your rectus abdominis. There is a normal separation that runs down the middle of your six-pack. When this becomes an issue is when the transverse abdominals and the six-pack are so compromised and weakened that the separation becomes deep and wide. Essentially, it leaves you with little support in the front of your body. So to check for diastasis recti, we're feeling for two things. We're looking for the width and the depth. It's measured in finger widths. So what you're looking for is how many fingers will fit in once you feel that there's a gap. Know that this is a little bit of a moving target. It depends on a lot of conditions from your fascial tissue, flexibility and mobility, to how well you're engaging when you're checking. So you can go to the video where I have a diastasis recti check and check yourself. To recover, you need to strength train. That takes daily work. And if you're living with more than 2 fingers, I want you to get checked by a PT and begin with phase 1 of Revolution Motherhood On Demand and repeat phase 1 until you are able to be on your hands and knees, engage your middle belly reliably up away from gravity. Pelvic organ prolapse. When the organs of your pelvis, including your bladder, rectum, your colon, urethra, your vaginal wall, and more, can descend down out of their assigned locations in your body. This is a product of extreme downward pressure, a lack of upper abdominal support that would normally hold your organs in place, and pelvic floor weakness and dysfunction. It's measured in degrees from 1 to 4, 4 being the most extreme. If you're suffering from prolapse, then you're going to be extra focused on the feeling of pressure in your abdominal wall and pelvic floor so that as you are rehabilitating the entire core together, you are aware of where your strength is coming from. If your PT recommends Kegels, then do your Kegels daily, multiple times a day even. Working with phase 1 of the on-demand program, particularly with breath work for engaging your transverse abdominals in conjunction with your pelvic floor and your pelvic corridor can be very effective. When standing, make sure that you're doing squats and lunges from a deep connected place of your pelvic corridor. You don't want to be standing feeling a lot of downward pressure. You want to be able to feel that you're pulling up. Incontinence is similar to pelvic organ prolapse. There are varying degrees and varying types. It can be very effectively treated with a combination of pelvic physical therapy and these exercises. For scar tissue, you want to make sure that you have checked in with your physician and talked to them about scar care. Oftentimes, once the initial wound has healed, whether it's cesarean, episiotomy, tearing, you want to make sure that that scar tissue is getting mobilized. So that can be any range of massage or just touch, sometimes a little bit of oil along the scar line. We want to make sure that the tissues are not fusing together. When that happens, it can create, in essence, a wall in your muscular system, and it stops contractions from working well and together. If you have other questions that I can support you with, please reach out to me and my team. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Revolution Motherhood, and you can always shoot me an email. I always answer. Wishing you a lovely day. Be well.